Have you been told seafood is the healthiest thing on your plate? Well, here's the truth. Most people will never tell you. Some of the most popular seafoods could be silently wrecking your joints, raising your blood pressure, and making you feel tired without you even realizing it. And yet, these same foods are sold everywhere, on menus, in the frozen aisle, even recommended in senior diets. If you're over 60, your body doesn't process things like it used to. What once felt fine can now trigger inflammation, heart strain, or gut issues. But here's the real problem. The seafood industry is massive, worth billions of dollars. And they're not interested in warning older adults about the risks. That's why over 99% of seniors have no clue that certain seafoods, even ones that look healthy, could be working against them. So today, we're going to do what nobody else is doing. We're pulling back the curtain. You'll learn the 4 worst seafoods to avoid if you're over 60, and the 4 best that science says you should eat more often to feel stronger, move better, and support your heart, joints, and energy naturally. And I'd love to hear from you. What's your go-to seafood meal? Have you noticed how certain fish or shellfish make you feel lately? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. And if you care about real science-backed health tips that respect your age, your body, and your time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join us here at Health 365. We've got so much more to share. Now let's begin with the first seafood that might look clean on the plate, but inside your body, it can quietly spark joint pain and raise your cholesterol. Squid. Yes, that tender, slightly chewy seafood that often shows up in pasta dishes, fried appetizers, or fancy Mediterranean plates. It looks clean. It sounds healthy. But if you're over 60, squid may be one of the most deceptive foods you can eat. You see, just 3 ounces of cooked squid contain nearly 200 milligrams of cholesterol. That's over 65% of what you should get for the entire day. And as we age, our liver doesn't process cholesterol like it used to. It slows down, and that means more of it stays in your bloodstream, raising your risk of clogged arteries, stiff blood vessels, and even heart attacks or strokes. In fact, studies show that older adults with high cholesterol intake are 43% more likely to show signs of arterial stiffness. But that's not all. Squid is also high in purines, natural compounds that your body breaks down into uric acid. And here's the issue. The older we get, the harder it becomes for our kidneys to flush uric acid out efficiently. When it builds up, it settles in the joints, triggering gout, a painful, burning form of arthritis that can strike without warning. Even a few servings a week have been linked to a much higher risk of joint inflammation. So if you've been eating squid thinking it's a lighter seafood option, especially for your joints or cholesterol, it might actually be working against you. If you wake up with stiff fingers, sore knees, or unexplained swelling, your seafood choices could be part of the reason. Now, let's move on to the next popular seafood that pretends to be healthy, but is actually loaded with salt, sugar, and chemicals your body doesn't need. Imitation crab. Something that looks like crab, smells a little like crab, but sadly, it's anything but real crab. And for those of us over 60, it may be one of the worst seafood choices we can make. Imitation crab, or surimi, is made from a paste of leftover fish scraps, often pollock, blended with starch, sugar, salt, and artificial flavorings. What ends up on your plate is a highly processed food that offers very little nutrition and a whole lot of problems. One big concern? Blood sugar. Imitation crab digests almost as fast as white bread, spiking your glucose and then dropping it, leaving you tired, sluggish, or even dizzy. If you're dealing with prediabetes or insulin resistance, this can quietly push your numbers in the wrong direction. A study in clinical nutrition found that older adults who ate imitation crab products 3 times a week had 2.6 times higher insulin levels than those who avoided them. Then there's the salt. Just 1 serving of imitation crab can contain over 700 milligrams of sodium, and that's before you dip it in soy sauce or mix it into a salad. Too much sodium is a major trigger for high blood pressure, especially as kidney function naturally slows with age. The additives and MSG found in many imitation crab products can also cause headaches, bloating, and water retention. It may seem convenient, affordable, even tasty, but imitation crab is a trap. It tricks you into thinking you're eating seafood, when in fact, it's offering almost none of the true benefits. Next, we'll look at a seafood that looks small and elegant, but may be quietly loading your body with toxic metals: scallops. Those little round, tender bites that show up on fancy menus, often seared just right with a bit of butter or garlic. They look innocent, even healthy. But if you're over 60, scallops may be silently doing damage your body can't easily undo. The biggest hidden risk? Cadmium, a toxic heavy metal that scallops absorb from the ocean as they filter the water around them. Unlike some contaminants that rinse off or cook out, cadmium builds up inside the scallop's tissues. And when you eat it, it enters your system and tends to stay there, especially if your kidneys are already slowing down with age. A 2022 study found that even modest servings of scallops can contain up to 1.8 micrograms of cadmium per gram. For older adults, that can quickly exceed safe weekly limits, leading to kidney strain, protein loss in urine, and rising blood pressure. And here's the problem. Cadmium damage is silent. You won't feel it until it's serious. But that's not the only reason scallops may not be the healthy seafood they seem. They're actually very low in omega-3 fatty acids, the kind of fats your brain, joints, and heart need more of as you age. In fact, 100 grams of scallops only offer about 30 milligrams of EPA and DHA, compared to over 500 milligrams in oysters. That's a huge difference. So if you're eating scallops expecting brain or heart benefits, you may not be getting much at all. And if you've been dealing with fatigue, mild swelling, or rising blood pressure, it's worth looking at how often these tiny shellfish show up on your plate. Now, let's move on to a seafood that's even more common, often seen in stir-fries, soups, or frozen bags, and yet might be the most dangerous one of all for older adults: shrimp. It's small, it's tasty, and it's everywhere, from stir-fries and salads to frozen dinner packs. Many people think of shrimp as a light or lean protein choice, but if you're over 60, there's a lot more going on beneath that pink shell than you might realize. First off, shrimp is surprisingly high in cholesterol. Just 3 ounces, about 1 small handful, contains around 180 milligrams of cholesterol. For someone over 60, that's a red flag. As we age, our arteries stiffen and our liver slows down. That means dietary cholesterol builds up faster and pushes heart risk higher. One large study found that seniors who consumed over 300 milligrams of dietary cholesterol daily had a 35% higher risk of stroke and 24% higher risk of heart disease. But it doesn't stop there. Shrimp contains a protein called tropomyosin, a common trigger for shellfish allergies. Even if you've never had an allergy before, your immune system changes as you age. In fact, researchers found that 14% of shellfish allergies in seniors first appear after age 65. These reactions can range from mild skin rashes to more serious gut issues or breathing problems. And let's not forget about the chitin. That's the hard outer shell. Even after cleaning, tiny fragments often remain in the meat. For seniors with sensitive digestion, This undigestible fiber can cause bloating, gas, or inflammation in the intestines. Worse yet, most shrimp sold today, especially frozen, are farm-raised and treated with antibiotics banned in many countries. A 2022 study found that over 40% of imported shrimp had antibiotic residues. Long-term exposure can lead to gut microbiome imbalances and even antibiotic resistance. So, if shrimp is a regular part of your meals, it might be time to reconsider, especially if you've been noticing more joint stiffness, fatigue, or tummy troubles. Now that we've uncovered the worst, let's turn to the best. 4 powerful marine foods that can actually help you feel stronger, move better, and age with less pain. Let's start turning things around. With a seafood that might look strange at first, but could be one of the best natural supports for your joints, skin, and overall comfort as you age: sea cucumber. Now, if you've never seen one before, don't worry. They're not actually vegetables. Sea cucumbers are marine animals, soft and gelatinous, and packed with healing compounds your body can truly benefit from, especially after 60. What makes sea cucumber special? It's rich in collagen-like proteins and chondroitin sulfate, 2 key nutrients your body uses to maintain joint cartilage, skin elasticity, and connective tissue. These are the very same ingredients found in many expensive joint supplements, but here they come in a natural, food-based form that's easier for the body to absorb. In one clinical study, seniors who took sea cucumber extract daily reported a 35% reduction in joint pain and noticeable improvement in flexibility after just 12 weeks. That's powerful, and without the stomach side effects that often come from over-the-counter pain meds. Sea cucumber also contains triterpene glycosides, which help calm inflammation gently and naturally. These compounds don't just mask joint pain, they help your body fight the underlying causes. Wondering how to prepare it? Traditionally, sea cucumber is soaked to rehydrate, then simmered slowly in broth or herbal soups. It has a soft, slightly chewy texture. Some even say it feels healing going down. And for many older adults, adding it to meals once or twice a week has made a real difference in knee pain, joint stiffness, and skin dryness. If you're someone who wants to move more freely, feel more comfortable in your body, and age with greater ease, this is a food worth exploring. Up next, another under-the-radar seafood with remarkable power: green-lipped mussels. If you struggle with knee or hip pain, this one's for you. Now let's talk about a hidden gem from the waters of New Zealand: green-lipped mussels. You may not find them in every grocery store, but if you're dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or reduced mobility, this might just be one of the most powerful foods you can add to your routine. So, what makes green-lipped mussels different from other shellfish? It's their unique omega-3 profile, especially a rare type called ETA. Unlike the more common EPA and DHA found in fish oil, ETA actually blocks an enzyme called 5-lipoxygenase, which is a major trigger for joint inflammation. That means this food doesn't just relieve symptoms, it targets the cause. In a 2020 clinical trial, seniors who consumed green-lipped mussel extract daily for 12 weeks reported a 42% reduction in joint discomfort and a 35% improvement in physical function. Think walking easier, standing up without groaning, and climbing stairs without hesitation. But that's not all. These mussels are also packed with zinc, selenium, iron, and iodine, 4 nutrients that become harder to absorb with age. They support your immune system, thyroid health, energy levels, and even your memory. For seniors who feel tired often or have low thyroid function, these trace minerals can make a big difference. How should you enjoy them? The best way is to steam them gently with a little garlic, parsley, and lemon. Avoid frying or overcooking. They're delicate, and too much heat can destroy their anti-inflammatory compounds. The flavor is slightly sweet and earthy, and the benefits go far beyond what most supplements can offer. If you're looking for a seafood that supports both mobility and metabolism, green-lipped mussels deserve a spot on your plate. Next up, we'll talk about a shellfish you may know well, but probably didn't realize just how much healing power it holds. Oysters. Maybe you've tried them raw, grilled, or baked. But what you may not know is that oysters are one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat, especially as you age. Just 2 medium oysters can give you over 100% of your daily zinc needs, and for older adults, that matters more than ever. Zinc plays a vital role in keeping your immune system strong, supporting wound healing, improving taste and smell, and even boosting brain clarity. But here's the catch. Zinc absorption drops with age. In fact, a study found that 40% of adults over 60 are zinc deficient without even realizing it. And zinc isn't the only thing oysters offer. They're also rich in vitamin B12, which supports nerve health and energy production. Low B12 levels in seniors have been linked to memory problems, fatigue, and even mood changes. Just 3 ounces of oysters give you more B12 than a full steak, without the heaviness. Then there's selenium, a powerful mineral that supports your thyroid and immune health, and copper, which is often forgotten but critical for bone strength, collagen formation, and red blood cell production. One European study found that seniors with higher copper intake had an 18% lower risk of bone fractures over 5 years. So, if you've been feeling more tired than usual, noticing slow wound healing, or dealing with brittle nails and thinning hair, your body may be asking for more of what oysters provide naturally. They're not just a delicacy, they're a true superfood for aging well. But what if you're not a fan of seafood taste? Don't worry. The most powerful food of all isn't even a fish. It's a sea plant that's been healing bodies for generations, sea moss. Now, let's talk about the most powerful seafood of them all. And it's not a fish or a shellfish. It's a sea plant called sea moss, also known as Irish moss. And if you've never tried it before, this might be the missing piece in your wellness routine. Sea moss is packed with over 90 trace minerals, including magnesium, potassium, sulfur, selenium, and iron. These are the building blocks your body needs to function, especially as you get older. But what really makes sea moss stand out is how gentle and complete it is. It's plant-based, easy to digest, and supports multiple systems at once: your joints, your gut, your skin, even your lungs. One of its biggest benefits is its role in collagen support. While sea moss doesn't contain collagen directly, it's rich in vitamin C, sulfur, and the amino acid proline, nutrients your body needs to make its own collagen. That means stronger joints, more elastic skin, better wound healing, and even a healthier gut lining. A recent study showed that seniors who consumed sea moss daily experienced a 37% improvement in joint mobility and a 29% reduction in skin dryness within just 8 weeks. It also contains mucilage, a special kind of soluble fiber that coats the gut lining, calms inflammation, and feeds the good bacteria in your intestines. If you deal with bloating, acid reflux, or constipation, sea moss can be a gentle, natural fix. To prepare it, simply rinse thoroughly, soak it in clean water for 12 to 24 hours, then blend it into a smooth gel. Add a spoonful to your smoothie, tea, or soup. Just don't boil it. Warm is best to keep the nutrients alive. If you're looking for one simple, natural food to help you feel more energetic, flexible, and balanced, this is it. Now that we've explored the best and worst seafoods for healthy aging, let's wrap it all up with a quick reminder and a few words from the heart. So here's the bottom line. Not all seafood is good for you, especially after 60. Some, like squid, imitation crab, scallops, and shrimp, may seem harmless but can quietly raise your cholesterol, strain your kidneys, or trigger joint pain and gut issues. The truth is, our bodies change